What's up, everybody? It's Hey John. I jabber opportunities nonstop. And in today's video, I will be giving an update on Evergrande and what they're doing. I will be covering the Fed tapering and more economic news of that sort. And of course, also unemployment and an update on Dogecoin and what it's doing and what it's not doing. So stay tuned and let's get to it. I've been using BlockFi for the past month or so, and it's been fantastic because if you sign up with my link down below for BlockFi, you will get 3.5% per transaction for their Visa signature card here. That is fantastic, folks. If you want to get away from your measly 1% and US dollars and get Bitcoin instead, link down below. It's been fantastic. And after that, you will get 1.5% all the time for every single transaction after 90 days. So get to it, folks. It's great because you can buy your gas, you can pay your electricity, you can buy food, do all your natural and regular necessities, and guess what? Earn some Bitcoin for free. So this is fantastic, folks. Check it out. Evergrande. What is Evergrande? They are essentially a large conglomerate, and they have a really huge, large real estate arm in China, about 29% of the Chinese real estate development. So it's a very large company in that sense. And also, they currently have issues paying down their debt and interest bonds here. Today, they're supposed to pay off their bonds, but there's been no news about that yet. At least nothing's been reported, so I cannot give you any update on that one. But Evergrande's EV division has stopped paying their employees and has stopped paying their suppliers twice this month now. So as you can tell, the parent company, Evergrande, is now affecting the other arms. The real estate division is dragging the whole company and conglomerate down. I would say this is a very bad thing. I mean, you have to pay your employees. There's never a rhyme or reason of why you should not pay your employees because they give you a contract, right? It's an unsaid contract. If I come into work, right, I give you my time, you reward me with some money here because that's what the social contract is. Work for money. It's very simple, folks. But Evergrande thinks that they don't have to do that. And I think that is so messed up. And I understand that they have liquidity problems because of all this debt and insolvency, but is it really the employees' fault? I mean, did they sign up for that? No, right? But of course, you know, China is trying to go after the big dog on top, right? All the board executives, but they can't do that because of laws and regulations. So they have to screw up everybody along to get to them. I think that's ridiculous. There should be an exception, right? Just because you're on top doesn't mean you're untouchable. If you messed up, you should be held accountable. And I think that's what should happen here. The employees should never have to suffer. They're the one doing the hard work and they're the one getting rewarded the least. Why should they take any suffering? But you see all these fat cats on top, boom, they can do what they want and how they want because they're on top, they hold the power, and they can do what they do. I don't agree with that, and I think it's terrible, but it be what it be, okay? Moving on to Fed tapering. What is Fed tapering? In a nutshell, it's essentially every month the Fed is buying back tons and tons of corporate bonds and all that kind of garbage right here, right? Of course, a taper means that they only want to buy 15 billion per month now from whatever they were doing before until June of 2022. They will buy $660 billion worth. That's the equivalent of QE2 in its whole entirety. And this will only be done in about 9 months. So just to give you guys the scale of these buybacks here. So what does this mean here? This means that stocks will continue to rise to around June 22 because these buybacks are giving these large corporations basically the green light to do what they do because the economy is doing well, because the government's buying everything. And the question is, who is paying these bonds here, right? Is it China? Last time I checked, China's buying gold. I don't think they're buying these bonds anymore because they're seeing USA is a little bit of a risk now. All these bonds, they come printing. And it's like, okay, dude, I don't want to buy anymore now. I'm going to buy something else. I'm going to diversify a little bit. So Jay Powell has said that he sees the economy doing well in terms of the test. Okay, fantastic. So we have a test and we've passed that test. Okay, fantastic. So my question is, Jay Powell, if we pass this so-called test you're saying, and everything's looking very green and rosy, why do we continue to to have these corporate buybacks of $15 million every month charged to the taxpayers, because these fat cats, CEOs and high-ranking people here, they're not paying their taxes. Let's be real here, right? You see Warren Buffett, you see all these other folks come out saying, hey, dude, I pay less taxes than my secretary. So, I mean, they're coming out and blatantly saying it. And in my opinion here, something doesn't add up right here. Because we're seeing that, okay, everything's rosy. We're having, this pandemic buyback of corporate bonds because of the pandemic. Everything was bad. And now we're post-pandemic, supposedly. And yet we are still continuing pre-pandemic buying. Of course, we've tapered it a little bit. But still, I mean, wow. Why are we buying these corporate bonds for? These companies do not deserve it here. Wall Street is getting bailed out. Main Street is just drowning, literally. Drowning in own misery and suffering here. You don't see the government bailing out Main Street here, right? No. You see government buying corporate bonds. You don't see them buying Main Street bonds because it does not exist here. Of course, you're seeing folks getting evicted here, right? And we've put out so much money here to make sure you don't get evicted, but yet the money cannot flow into the people's hands, into the landlords, so they do not get evicted. So it's a very terrible time. And also, another note here is that we're seeing an unemployment of 351,000 initial claims starting today. Report this week here, 351,000. Of course, the NASDAQ said, we will get only 320,000. So we beat the expectations. But do we really want to beat these unemployment expectations? I don't think so. That's not a good thing. But of course, we're seeing 351,000 people filing for unemployment for the first time. And we are seeing the markets just rise up higher as of this moment here, 400 points. And of course, the reason why is because Jay Powell said we will continue pre-pandemic corporate buying, even though we're in a post-pandemic time and everything's looking good right now. So I think it smells fishy. This is what I would like to call a canary in a coal mine. I believe that we're going to see a huge recession in the near term. It's coming, folks. Be prepared, all right? Buy some gold, buy some silver, buy some crypto. Buy whatever you want. Diversify. Don't put all your money in cash, man. You guys need to diversify and take care of yourselves. Be your own central bank. Dogecoin. Well, Dogecoin is seeing 4-year highs in terms of adoption, right? We're seeing everyone, all these stores taking Dogecoin, but yet we are seeing 4-year lows of people using their Dogecoin as a transactionary fiat money system here. And the whole point of Dogecoin is to be a fiat money system. But yet, the funny thing is that most folks buying Dogecoin, they actually aren't using their Dogecoin. So what do I say to this here? I will start saying that, you know what? If you're a Dogecoin hodler, maybe it's time to be a Dogecoin user. What I mean by that is starting to use your Dogecoins, as in put it into the system and let it flow and circulate. Because now we're seeing Dogecoin transactions come down due to release of 1.14.14 right here, right? So it is time for Dogecoin to go from hodl to use. So if you're a big Dogecoin influencer, maybe you should start using your Dogecoins instead of just hodling it. So that's what I think about Dogecoin and the future of Dogecoin. In order for it to succeed as the future currency of the world, well, guess what? It needs to be used as the future currency of the world. But currently, most folks and most influencers, they're sitting on their millions and millions of Dogecoins and saying hodl, hodl, hodl. But yet they're also pushing the rhetoric of use it, use it, use it. It's a future currency because Elon Musk says so. But guess what, folks? Elon Musk has very little Dogecoin. Mark Cuban has very little Dogecoin. So they're just saying that to get, the Dogecoin marketing machine. I'm not saying that when they say those kind of things, it's a bad thing for Dogecoin. I think it's great. But you have to understand, they have very little skin in the game. And even though they say they like it, but do they like it enough to put their money into it? Not really, from what you can tell from them giving their own public statements of saying, I have very little Dogecoin, being that Mark Cuban and Elon Musk. And me saying this is not a tear on them. I think what they're doing for Dogecoin community is fantastic, but understand that they say one thing, but their actions do not follow through because they're buying other stuff right here, right? They're not buying Dogecoin, they're buying other things, real tangible assets. They're buying, companies that have utility. They're pushing NFTs, all this kind of stuff here. But They are buying Dogecoin, so be aware of that. And most importantly, if you want Dogecoin to succeed, you need to do your part by spending your Dogecoins. I want to thank you for watching my video today. Please smash the like button because it helps YouTube share the video with more folks here. If you're a new viewer, I encourage you to please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And most importantly, have an awesome day, and I will catch you on the next one.